Welcome and good day to everyone. This is International Association for Quality Education STEAM Level 3 presentation. Today, we will be presenting based on Part 1, Module 1, Lecture 10. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fatima Humida Nazreen, teacher at Sweet Kids Nursery. And I am happy to present today's session with my fellow teacher. I kindly invite her to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Nashmin here. I'm the founder of IN Academy. I hold a bachelor's degree in early childhood education, along with several specialized diplomas and certifications, including TEFL, child psychology, AMI Montessori, STEAM, and elocution. With over 12 years of experience in the education sector, I specialize in preschool teacher training, elocution, and creative child-centered learning approaches. In addition to my work, I'm a certified LEP teacher at Spinnaker School of English, accredited by the British Council UK, and also I serve as an elocution and spoken English instructor at Acumen International. My passion lies in empowering educators and shaping confident, capable young learners. I'm truly honored to be here today and excited to learn and grow together. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. Before we move forward, we would like to express our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Janaka Kamalgoda, Project Director of International Project for Capacity Development for ECCD Centers, for his visionary leadership, commitment to quality early childhood education, and for giving us the opportunity to learn and grow through this meaningful project. And also, we would like to express our thanks to Mrs. Nadia Jain, academic lecturer for Module 1 for her inspiring guidance and dedicated support throughout the learning journey. Today, we will be presenting about kindergarten assessment and evaluation. What is kindergarten assessment and evaluation? In early childhood education, assessment and evaluation are used to understand how children are developing and learning. At the kindergarten level, assessments are not like exams. Instead, teachers observe children during activity, playtime, and group work to see their progress. This evaluation helps teachers to identify each child's strength in the areas where they need most support. And also, it helps teachers in planning lessons based on the individual need of the child. The main focus of assessment and evaluation is not on testing, but on understanding the child development areas like language, social skills, creativity, and thinking abilities. For example, a teacher might notice how a child solves a puzzle or how they speak to their friends during a free play. This observation becomes part of the assessment. Now let's see the difference between assessment and evaluation. Assessment is an ongoing process. Evaluation is a final judgment. Assessment helps to understand a child's learning process. Evaluation measures the results or outcome. Assessment focuses on how the child is learning. Evaluation focuses on what child has learned. Assessment used to improve learning. Evaluation used to judge or grade learning. Example, observing a child during a play is an assessment. Giving a report card at the end of the term is an evaluation. Some common types of methods used in kindergarten to assess children's development, learning, and social skills. Formative assessment, summative assessment, developmental checklist, play-based assessments, portfolios, anecdotal records, standardized testing, parents and teacher surveys, observation tools, criterion-referred assessment. Formative assessment. It's a daily observation process Teachers observe how children learn and behave during regular classroom activities. For example, during the drawing activity, a teacher sketched a sailboat on the board. A child stood up confidently and identified it by saying sailboat. Now the teacher might notice her vocabulary recall and confidence. Summative assessment. It is done at the end of a theme or a learning period. For example, if we teach a theme for 1 week, at the end of the week, we can assess and record what the child has learned from that theme. Developmental checklist. This is list used by a teacher to check if a child is meeting age-appropriate developmental milestone. For example, for a 4-year-old child, checklist may include: can the child speak in full sentences? Can the child hold the pencil properly? Can the child follow 2-step instructions like pick up your bag and sit down? If they can do these things, we can say that they are reaching expected milestone for their age. Play-based assessment. This means teacher observing the children while play to understand their learning skills and emotions. For example, when a child builds a tower with the blocks, teacher might notice the problem solving and fine motor skills. Portfolios. A portfolio is a collection of a child's work over time that shows their learning and progress. Drawing and coloring done by the child in a different month to show the improvement in fine motor skills. Anecdotal record. Yes. Anecdotal records. Short notes written by teachers about what the child doing or saying during daily activities. For example, during the free play, a child counted blocks from 1 to 10 shows the early math skills. Standardized testing, a formal testing that is the same for all children and scored in the same way to compare results. For example, school readiness test is given to all 5-year-old children to check the basic language, maths, and thinking skills. Parents and teachers surveys. These are questionnaires filled by parents and teachers to share feedback about the child's development and behavior. A teacher may fill a form with questions like, can the child follow classroom instructions? Parents may answer the questions like, can your child dress up themselves or do they speak clearly at home? Observation tools. Methods or checklist used by teacher to watch and record a child's behavior, skills, and development. A checklist used to observe if the child can follow the instructions or work as a group. Criterion reference assessment. Assessment that measures a child's performance against a specific learning goal or standard compared to compared to the other children. So the example is checking if the child can write their name or identify the color as expected in the curriculum. Diagnostic assessment, screening for developmental milestone. What it is? A checkup to see if children are reaching expected developmental milestone in areas like speech, motor skills, and social behavior. Why is this? To identify early if a child has any learning or developmental delays. For example, for a 4-year-old child is not speaking in a full sentence, the teacher might refer the child for a language screening. The goal is to provide targeted support. Example, speech therapy, extra classroom help. Over to you, Nashmin teacher.
Thank you, Humaida teacher. From now on, we'll continue what are more there in assessment and evaluation in kindergarten. Grading scales, and we'll see what this slide is going to give us. This slide gives an overview of the three main grading scales used in literacy and numeracy: the letter grades, numerical scores, and rubrics. Letter grades are widely understood but offer limited details. And if we look at the numerical scores, it gives the exact results but can lack context. And the rubrics are detailed and provide specific feedback, especially useful for assessing reading, writing, and problem solving. Blending all these methods can help provide a more complete picture of the student's progress. Next slide, please. Okay, now we'll see what are the effective feedback to both parents and students. First, the frequent communication is essential, whether through parents' meetings, progress notes, or quick updates. It helps keep parents engaged and reassured about their child's learning journey. And the second one is we must focus on the holistic development of the child. It's not just academics but emotional and social growth too. Positive reinforcement like praising effort and progress builds confidence and motivation. And lastly, the feedback should be specific. Instead of saying good job, mention exactly what the child did well and gently point out areas to improve. This approach helps children develop while making parents to feel informed and involved. Next slide, please. Okay. Now we are up to what is adapting. How are we going to adapt assessments? Okay. And according to the principle of the National Education Policy, NEP 2020, the idea that education must be inclusive and responsive to each child's need. Every learner is different in how they think, feel, and understand the world around them. When it comes to these traditional assessments, it has largely been based one size fits all, focusing mostly on memory recall and academic performance. But NEP 2020 encourages us to shift towards flexible competency based assessments that focus on development, not just grades. Assessments should not just measure where a child stands, they should support and guide the child's growth. Next slide, please. Okay, who are these diverse learners? To adapt our assessments, well, we must understand who we are adapting for. Okay, let's look at the variety of learners in our classroom. The first one, students with disabilities. They may need tools like audio instructions, braille, or visual aids. Their assessments may also need adjustments in structure or timing. And the second one, multilingual learners. Especially in a country like India or Sri Lanka, they may struggle in assessments when it is only in one language. We must ensure that they can show their knowledge regardless of language barriers. And the third one, learning style, different learning styles. Some children learn better through seeing, others by hearing, and some through doing. Assessments need to reflect these varieties. And the last one is cultural difference. The cultural differences, it's the way children express, understand, may be influenced by culture. So, what do? We must ensure assessment tools are culturally sensitive and fair. Every student brings a different strength, As educators, we need to recognize and nurture those differences. Next slide, please. So, how are we going to adapt assessments practically? Okay, for students with disabilities, we can consider offering oral or visual options instead of only written tests, like giving extra time or allowing the use of assistive devices. And for multilingual learners, we can use simple or clear instructions. We can accept answers in their preferred language or in formats like drawing or verbal explanations. And for different learning styles, instead of only pen and paper tests, we can include creative tasks like storytelling, model making, or role play. Let students choose how to demonstrate what they have learned. This encourages motivation and confidence in them. And the goal here is not to make things easier, but to ensure that assessments are fair, accessible, and truly reflective of each child's capabilities. Next slide, please. Okay, what is this holistic progress card or HPC? It is a tool introduced under NEP 2020 to move away from marks only reports. It provides a 360 view of a child's growth, not just academically, but also emotionally, socially, and physically. This includes teacher observations, peer feedbacks, and self reflection by the child. It captures a higher order thinking, creativity, and life skills, which are often ignored in the traditional reports. It also brings parents into the process, making them active partners in their child's progress. This is very important, right? Instead of once a year report cards, the HPC encourages ongoing formative assessments that can guide teaching and learning throughout the year. This way, we are not just tracking performance, but what are we doing? We are nurturing potentials. Next slide, please. Okay, finally, we are going to see how are we going to go forward with this. What is the future of assessments? We must weave assessments as a tool for transformation, not just evaluation. Okay, it should help the learners. So, how are we going to do? We're going to reflect on their own growth. It's going to reflect on their own growth, set goals for improvement, develop confidence in their abilities. By using inclusive formative assessments and tools like the holistic progress card, the HPC, we shift the focus to progress over perfection. As educators, our role is to recognize each child's journey and celebrate their milestones. Let it be big or small. When students feel understood and supported, they are more likely to be engaged, curious, and successful. Okay, let's commit to making assessments a source of encouragement, not fear. Sure? Okay, I hope we have come to the end of the presentation. And I would like to end the presentation with a quote of Lev Vygotsky. What a child can do today with assistance, they will be able to do by themselves tomorrow. Thank you.